It is interesting and unfortunate that many of us rarely go through the total cost of credit. Many of us at the time of applying, we are quick to ask where we should sign. And that is why many lenders will give us the forms when they have marked excess where we are supposed to sign. And then later on, you start to complain that this debt is expensive. These guys are scams. These guys lied to me, that I thought I would be through with this debt by now. But you failed to check the total cost of credit. Now, total cost of credit has three very important components. The first component is the interest rate. The few who try to look at the cost of credit probably only look at the interest rate. Okay, and very many people were confused when interest rates were capped. Many people thought that now the total cost of borrowing is the same across board, just because the rates have been capped at 13%, all right, at 14% back then. But the truth is the total cost of borrowing was never the same, even though the rates were capped, because the total cost of borrowing, the total cost of credit has other components other than interest rate. The second component in the total cost of credit is bank charges. Bank charges. All right. And so in the process of borrowing, some banks will come with different charges, carrying different names. Some banks will talk of negotiation fee. Some banks will talk of processing fee. Some banks will talk of account maintenance fee, and all those things. You have to consider them. You see, there is a lender giving their loan at a rate of 14%, and all of them are giving at 14%. Then there is another lender. On top of the 14%, they have a negotiation fee of 1%. But another lender has a negotiation fee of 5%. You don't expect those two costs to be the same. The third component of the total cost of credit is third-party costs. Third-party costs. Some forms of borrowing will require you to incur some costs to third parties. For example, a business person who is taking up a business loan, on top of the interest rate, on top of the bank charges, this person might be required to do some valuation on the property that will secure the loan. All right, that valuation will attract another cost. There will be a lawyer that will be involved in the process of in conveyancing, in the process of perfection of securities. That lawyer will have a legal fee that will come to add on to the cost of credit. Let me tell you something. I have witnessed a case where someone went to borrow money, but they ended up spending more than the amount they went to borrow, even before they received the money that they went to borrow, just because they did not consider everything. Yes, they did not consider everything. So when you think about the cost of credit, try and be keen. Depending on the nature of borrowing you want to do, look at those three components and look at the TCC that your bank will give you, and then make a decision as to whether you are comfortable with this kind of cost, because at the end of the day, this cost comes to count.